Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
New season, new chaos in college football.
Let's go! Big stage, big opportunity.
This Labor Day weekend, the wildness lives on ABC, ESPN, and the all-new ESPN app.
What a way to start!
Featuring top 10 teams like Clemson, Notre Dame, Alabama, and LSU, and Bill Belichick's debut at North Carolina.
It's so special when these teams collide.
Don't miss a lineup filled with electric matchups.
Welcome back to college football.
Kickoff week presented by Modelo. Labor Day weekend on ESPN and ABC. Also available to stream on the all-new ESPN app.
Gatorade is the #1 proven electrolyte blend designed to hydrate better than water. So you can lose more sweat and raise your game. Gatorade, is it in you?
We have finally made it. It is 50 some odd degrees outside in Chicago. Summer's coming to an end because summer obviously got someplace to be. Camp is ending. Cuts have happened. Preseason's over. And we've been waiting a long time for this moment. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have got engaged.
I love that for them.
We've waited a long time for that, yeah. You guys happy it's finally happened?
I haven't waited 1 second for that. But congrats to them.
I love black love.
Ooh, the shade of it all.
Ain't they light skins?
Nah.
Travis Kelce light skinned, ain't he?
No, Travis, he full on his white side now. No. He's back to state trooper. He's state trooper Travis now.
Is he still invited to the cookout though?
I mean, he cool. I mean, I don't have no problem with him.
Did he hit the percolator at the cookout?
What did he bring? That decides if he can get a play. What he bring?
He probably brought green bean casserole and raisins in the raisins in his potato salad. I mean, he's been with Taylor for 2 years now, right? Ain't no more Kool-Aid in that cup. Ain't no more Kool-Aid in that cup. He's drinking apple juice.
Yeah,
apple cider.
He can eat what he brought.
He's drinking apple cider and having green bean casserole for dinner now. Culturally appropriate food.
I'm not one of those people that give out cookout invites. Go to your own barbecue. We got a cookout. Go to your own barbecue, right?
Tyson Bateman got one.
Travis?
Tyson at the cookout. Y'all let Tyson come.
I don't think anybody invited Tyson to the cookout. Tyson is at the barbecue.
Okay. Colston Loveland is there after singing to Mario. Colston definitely there.
Was that one of the highlights of camp so far? Colston Loveland singing. He sung it damn near flawless. Him singing Mario.
So long though, bro. I was like, all right, get to the singing part. He's standing up there offbeat doing this. Like, man, cut to the song. Too long.
First of all, John B is looking down from heaven, smiling at Colston Loveland right now. All right, John B is looking down from heaven, smiling at that performance. So I don't think he was really offbeat. I ain't got no rhythm either, so it looked good to me. So whatever.
It's got to be some type of fine because you killed John B.
I mean, he's definitely still alive. He's definitely still alive.
Okay, well, his career isn't. So the career is.
That's funny. What are some other highlights from camp? We had Colson Loveland doing his Mario. What other highlights we got?
It was kind of a quiet camp. I mean, it was really a football-focused camp. I can't think of anything else.
Tiff?
The only thing that stands out to me was a low light, so I don't know. I can't think of
Okay.
any lights right now.
Feel it coming.
I have not said a word. I didn't say anything. All I said, the only thing that's coming to my mind that was outside of normal football was a low light. So it doesn't fit the criteria of what we're talking about.
Well, let's dig in. Let's get into it. Let's talk about camp. And as it's ending now and players are getting ready for the season, let's review camp. There's been a lot of talk about the issues with the I guess the install of the offense, what the defense has got going on, injuries. What takeaway are we having coming out of camp?
I think the takeaway for me is that there's still more work to do, right? We saw some highs in some of the preseason games that we may have thought we're there, we ready. And then we saw some lows that felt like, maybe not. So I think the tone that I'm taking is there's still work to do, but we have seen progress, we have seen improvement, and I am confident from everything that I've heard from the coaching staff that we're headed in the right direction, and he's gonna keep the fire, the flame to the fire.
My takeaway is details. Details matter. Ben Johnson is a stickler for the details. You're going to get it right. Caleb, you're going to get your footwork right. You're going to go through the cadence right. You're going to break the huddle right. The small details. That's what I took away from camp. Ben Johnson is about details. Going motion the right way. None of that nonsense that we saw last year. Hell, maybe the last 6 years of watching Bear football. Well, maybe the last quarter century from watching Bear football, especially on the offensive side. So that's my takeaway. The details matter, and that is so refreshing.
And to go along with that, Ben is going to call it out. He's going to call it out clearly every single time. He's going to say, no, that looked like crap. We're not getting any more of that Eberflus, oh, no, everything's jolly good, fellas. We're not getting no more of that. If anything, we're getting the opposite.
Is that
voice? Let anything fly. Huh? That was Eberflus. Everything's fine, guys. No, we just lost again. Hey, sir, shut up. I get it, but
Hits
no.
principle. Hits principle.
I like that character, Tiff. We gotta work on that. Let's bring Eberflus to the show every now and then. Let's do that, Tiff.
This is all organic. We can't call this up at certain times. This ain't no seance where you can just request somebody. That's not how that works. This is organic.
Yeah, I mean week 3 when we play the Dallas Cowboys, I want to say, hey, Eberflus, how do you feel about playing Caleb after you didn't work with him in the film room?
Hopefully he'll be feeling terrible because we'll be beating him so badly. Hopefully.
No, we gonna light his ass up. But yeah, let's work on that character though, Tiff. I like that. I like the Eberflus.
Like I said, this is not upon request, okay?
That definitely would be a hit with our audience. Hey, you got to clip that and send that to me. That's going on my page. Nah, phone number on my page need that.
No,
phone number on my page
it's not.
need that little bit.
No, it's not. You better follow it up with you're full of shit. That's what you better follow it up
That's
with.
fine.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit. Bingo.
Also in camp, there is the preseason. Let's review that. 3 games. The starters did not play the first game, obviously. The second game, most of the starters were there in the second game. They only played, 2 series in total. And the third game, was out there for first half.
Yeah, they had a whole half.
What's your opinion of how the team, not just starters, how the team looked in preseason games?
think the defense looked as advertised. The Allen defense, they were aggressive. I would have liked to see more turnovers, but they were aggressive. They were physical. They tackled well. We didn't have Jalen or Kyler. Tremaine only played a couple series the entire preseason. But I thought the Dennis Allen defense was advertised. I thought the offense, although they got off to a slow start against the Chiefs, I thought we saw the dynamic playmakers that Ben Johnson brings to the table. And the dynamic plays. You saw Luther Burden. Luther Burden looks fantastic. Like, the Bears have a deep receiver room. I don't see, man, Rome and DJ and Zacchaeus, they got to stay on point. Burden is coming for somebody's snaps. Like, you saw Rome not be able to corral a contested catch in that Chiefs game. And it was a tough catch, but that's a catch that a top 10 pick, a number one receiver, has to make. I'm going to say Luther's coming. He's coming for snaps. Colston Loveland, as advertised. We don't know how they're going to perform on Sundays, but you see the dynamic playmakers. You see the explosive ability that Ben Johnson wanted to bring here.
A little up and down to me. Game one, none of the starters, so it's hard to get a good read on it. Game two, we absolutely trounced them, but they played very few, or the Bills played very few of their starters. So, how much
Yeah,
can you
no
say
Josh
from
Allen.
that? Yeah. Then game three in the first half, when our starters were out, I don't know, Q, you a little more optimistic than I am about that game. Now, I'm going to keep in mind that this is the Chiefs we're playing, they're perennial Super Bowl,
Yeah.
contenders.
And
But
they got a chip on their shoulder.
and they have a chip on their shoulder, and they were playing in that preseason first half like they did to me. To me,
They
we were getting
definitely
sliced
did.
up on both sides of the ball, to be clear.
Definitely was.
It was not looking encouraging on either side of the ball to me, even though it was preseason. So, of course, the second half, we did get some momentum towards the end of the first half, and then second half we came back and won at the end. And it's all preseason, right? So you take it with a grain of salt. But the defense was kind of getting carved up to me. I mean, I'm like, all right, bro, I know it's, preseason, but this is the Chiefs. We could try to give them a little something, and it wasn't happening. And then on the offensive end, we couldn't move the ball at all at first. So that, like, after the high of the Bills game and how we just, again, trounced them, even though we didn't play many starters, it was kind of back a little bit of a reality set. Like, okay, let's come back to center a little bit. It's still plenty of things that both sides of the ball need to work.
I want to stay there for the defense. Q, you said your defense was as advertised. And Tiffy, I'm glad you brought that up. They did not look like their best in the third game. I think the defense was actually the worst side of the ball in that third game. But I do want to point this out. Grady wasn't out there. Tremaine Edmonds wasn't out there. Jalen hasn't played none of preseason. He hasn't been available for camp. Kyler's not there, right? So, and Nashawn Wright, I'm going to talk to him about him in a second. And I think this is the biggest part. What you saw in the first two preseason games was after joint practice. The Bears held their own in joint practice, and then it was sort of like they had film already going into the games, and so you saw them play as if they knew what they were going up against. The Chiefs, kind of a blind game, and they looked kind of like they were still figuring things out. It was like a box. You watch boxing, Q. Tank Davis. How does he look the first 5 rounds? It's like he's trying to figure out his opponent, right? He's trying to, try to see what he can get away with. That's how the Bears look to me, at least on offense in that third game, because in my opinion, they didn't have a joint practice to lean back on. Now, sticking with the defense, Nashawn Wright, I mentioned him prior. We had heard a lot of glowing things about Mr. Wright going up into that game. But what did you see out of that game? I think bullseye on him in that game. He looked horrible.
Nashawn looked like it was midnight and Cinderella slipper came off. He looked like a guy that has been on his third or fourth different team. I think Tyreek is safe. I like the Nashawn Wright story. I do not want to see Nashawn on Monday night opposite Justin Jefferson or Naylor or Hawkinson. And Tyreek, we trust opposite Jalen. So Nashawn Wright, good story. I don't want to see him as a regular out there.
Is there anybody else that stuck out to you in any of the games, maybe good or bad, the way that Nashawn Wright stuck out in Game 3?
Not anyone unexpected. I have to give Bajan a little love, but he made me feel like he can be a competent backup, which I think most of us kind of felt a little bit, but I think he is. Hey, he done got his $10 million swag now, so he had a little different. He had a little different cadence in that third game, so I think I kind of am a little more comfortable with him being a sufficient backup.
Yeah, I definitely want to give flowers to Tyson. Like Tiff said, he got his money. And he definitely looked like he was living up to the part of getting that extension. I know it's preseason, but that was probably one of the best Tyson Bagents we've seen. And granted, we've mostly seen him in preseason the last 2 years. But the placement on that game-winning touchdown and the rhythm he threw that to Ja'Day Walker, you can't put that any better. That was, I hate to say this name, that was Aaron Rodgers like ball placement and throw in the red zone. And shout out to Ja'Day Walker, made the team, undrafted free agent, Texas A&M, beat out guys like Tyler Scott, beat out Miles Boykin, beat out some veterans and some guys who were doing good in camp. That's a good story though. I like Ja'Day Walker. I think he's actually a player that if called on Sundays, if there's injuries, I would feel comfortable with him out there wide receivers. I thought he balled all preseason. So that's the guy. Not just the game 3, all 3 games. You see an undrafted guy he didn't just make the team. He's not on the practice squad. He's on the 53-man. So want to give flowers to Bajan and Ja'Day Walker.
That's interesting that, Tiff, you said there was no highlights of the preseason. Of camp. Tyson, he got his bag.
Yeah, you're right.
That's not a highlight.
I'm thinking on the field lower, like in that vein. But you're right. Him sitting up there saying,
that is a highlight.
Bro said his dad didn't have running water until high school, and I'm a little confused because his dad can't be more than like 50, maybe. So I'm like, he didn't have running water. So
they got it out the mud, Tim. They got it. That's why I say Tyson is at the cookout. They got it out the mud. Tyson from the trenches.
He did get it out the mud, literally out of the mud. That's where they got their water out of the mud.
Ain't have no running water. Y'all talking about y'all on whatever low end over east. Y'all ain't in the trenches like Tyson Bagent daddy was. Them the real trenches.
They are not. He was in the trenches digging his water.
Yeah, West Virginia. It doesn't. I've never been to West Virginia. I always want to put that out there in the front end. But if you told me someone in West Virginia, and let's say in the 80s, well, he said his dad didn't have running water, at some point in his life. You told me
it's still high school, bro. That's what he said.
So the 70s maybe. So if you told me someone in West Virginia didn't have,
Tyson Bagent's
you're right.
He had to be in high school in the 80s and 90s.
He's probably in his early 50s.
Right, so he was in high school.
Okay, so he was in high school in the 90s.
Saved by the Bell crowd. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to still say it. If you told me there was an area of West Virginia where people lived in the 90s that didn't have running water, I wouldn't be shocked. No disrespect to West Virginia.
It sounds like a lot of disrespect.
Oh, what do you mean? Listen.
Like a lot of disrespect, Ricky Bobby.
This is America. We are all aware that there are some infrastructure inequities all around, right? I don't think it's disrespectful for me to say that, or at least assume that, just based on how I know America is. So I am extremely happy for the Badgett family. Keep doing good work. Keep grinding, young man.
So,
and
they definitely wasn't washing their legs or showering more than once or twice.
Before we see,
okay. See now, Tiff, was that necessary? Was that
They
necessary?
was not washing their legs
is
at
that a
all,
dog
bro.
whistle I
You
hear
don't have no
blowing?
running water. You don't have
Is
no
that a
running
dog
water. You're
whistle?
definitely not
I
washing
hear
your legs.
not washing. That's a dog whistle, Tiff. We're not going to do that. So before we move off this Tyson Bagent daddy not having running water, I have one question about this. One question. He was very emotional and it was very touching. So how does Tyson Bagent know? He wasn't around then. How does he know his dad didn't have running water? Do we believe Tyson Bagent's father?
Because his daddy told him that story, just like your grandparents, whoever, was like, we used to walk to school backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like every parent or grandparent has told their grandkids some
stories
of how tough they were and how good and how bad they had it and how good you have it now. He was probably like every day at Tyson, like, you got running water. What? You're not gonna clean your room, boy? You got running water. What you talking about? Like he threw that in his face all the time.
And we have heard the rumors of Tyson Bagent dad that he started the rumor that members of the team went to Eberflus to have Caleb Williams bench. I'm just saying Tyson Bagent dad don't got a lot of credibility with me. I mean, from what I see of this guy, there just seems to be a lot of embellishing.
He may have had to start arm wrestling to get enough money to get plumbing. I don't know. Just shout out.
It's not a bad hustle. But I see how you all took a heartfelt, nice story and tried to fake news it. I see that.
No, I believe the story. I just said it was shocking to me, even though West Virginia, but still, we talking about the 80s or 90s. If it was the 50s or 60s, no, it wouldn't be shocking. But the 80s or 90s, yeah, that's shocking.
I'm not blaming you two. We live in a post-truth society, so
no, you are.
You should. Yes, we all live in post-truth.
You probably lived in it your whole life while you talk about now.
No. We live in a society where everything is questioned. Facts are questioned. No one believes anything anymore, and I don't blame you all for it. Just putting that out there.
Facebook no longer does fact checker. The Smithsonian institution apparently said slavery didn't exist, so it's not that bad. Things aren't that bad.
It was not that bad. Because we can't erase history. We cannot erase the history of, Confederate statues being out. That's erasing history. But actually taking factual history out of a museum is so people don't feel bad and we can feel good about the country. So
I like that slavery has to leave the museum, but Confederate people who like slavery are getting back in the museum. That makes no sense.
Yes.
How can you tell the story of one without the other?
It makes perfect sense to a certain demographic. It makes perfect.
Celebrate the slave owners, ignore slavery. Never happened. Wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Yes.
Long live General Ulysses. Is that his name?
Long live the traitors.
Ulysses S. Grant was a Yankee.
Yeah, I was gonna say Grant was on the Union side. Don't put smut on his name like that.
I'm thinking of Lee.
Robert E. Lee is the person you're thinking about. Yes.
Okay, Robert E. Lee was the guy. Well, I don't want to call him a traitor. He was just USAK. Like
he was a traitor. What?
That's a
traitor. He was the definition of a traitor.
He was just saying. Listen, sometimes we all from Chicago. Sometimes within a nation or organization on the streets, you're not liking what the big dudes at the top say. So you might be something and you still claim it, but you throwing a K at the end of it. So he still was right on the USA. He was USAK. That's how the streets go sometimes. I'm just trying to relate it to our listeners.
No, he's a traitor. That's what he was.
Okay.
He was the president of the Confederacy, wasn't he? Well, he the biggest traitor they had?
No, he was not the president.
Oh, well, shit, I don't know. I don't want to know their history. History.
There's a certain orange man that wants you to know their history and stop knowing yours.
Okay, well, good luck.
Other points of the training camp and preseason that was that was a point. I think that's worth talking about was that position battle at left tackle. Offensive line was a major point of contention all last season. We definitely needed to upgrade that. And for the most part, Ryan Poles did. He brought in known studs to put on that interior. Now you got to figure out the exterior, the outside tackles for that offensive line. Darnell Wright probably is going to be the starter. We had questions, but let's talk about that left tackle. Let's talk about that left tackle job. Are you all satisfied with the position battle and how it played out?
Cool. No,
When you say
but I feel more
satisfied, I'm like,
comfortable with Braxton Jones starting
I was about to say,
week one. Week one, I feel comfortable.
I mean, for now, I
And
think we talked about this last episode. For the first game, I'm good with it. Like I
right.
think there's nothing wrong with having a battle, and if the winner, who was the winner last year, wins again, and he goes out and does his job, I have no problem with that. Like I wasn't expecting that he had to be replaced, but now he's gonna have to step up and do his job, and he could prove that week one.
So when you ask me, am I satisfied with Braxton Jones? I think that's in the macro versus micro of it all. Am I satisfied with Braxton Jones as my left tackle starting? No. I'd rather them upgrade the position. Am I satisfied with the options that we had on this team? Yeah. I prefer Braxton over a rookie who mainly played on the right side at Boston College. So, especially playing the Vikings week one, we know Brian Flores is coming out there. He is a mad scientist with the blitzes and the disguise coverages. We know he's coming to confuse Caleb in that offensive line. Braxton is this his fourth year or this is fourth year, right?
This is his fourth year.
Fourth year. And he started, what was it, 40 out of 44 games he's played. He's seen a lot of football. He's played the Vikings. He's played Brian Flores. He knows what to expect. You got to hope that he's healthy and that he's fully recovered. Because the last time he spoke to the media, he said he's right where he's at, and it's unrealistic for you to think that he's going to be 100% when he's 8, 9 months post what he broke his fibula, and he's a big guy, and breaking your fibula in the off season means you can't go strength training to your lower body. So that scares me a little bit because Braxton Jones is a guy that throughout his career, we've always felt that, he's susceptible to the bull rush and needed to get stronger. And the one thing he could not do this offseason was get stronger because he spent most of it rehab.
You have any concerns, Tiff, about Braxton Jones being the winner? Well, let me say this before I get too deep into it. I do want to tell you all what Ben Johnson had to say today. Courtney Cronin, she asked him who will be the Bears' left tackle on week 1, and Ben Johnson said he's, quote, not ready to talk about starters yet. That's one thing. But I think all signs point to Braxton Jones winning that job. Tiff, do you have an issue with Braxton Jones being the left tackle, the starting left tackle, game 1 again?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think Q made a masterful point out of what we have, right? I mean, if we could pick whoever we want, of course, that's not who we would pick. But of our roster right now, is he the one that I would give the most trust to start week 1, Monday Night Football? Yes, I would. So the short answer for me, of what we have on our roster right now, yes. Do I think the coach is probably just trying to put that last little fire up under Braxton or whatever? Probably. Like, do I really believe that at the last minute he's probably not? But I'm not. It's cool with me as long as it works. But that's a little of that gamemanship to me.
That's what I'm thinking. Gamesmanship. You don't want the Vikings to get keep them guessing a little bit.
Perhaps he's thinking about his opponent week 1. The way I read that is that, he's the worst type of mad scientist. He's the one that's like, he's super meticulous, which not a bad thing. Not a bad thing if it's successful. It's a bad thing if it's not. That's how I took it. It's like, man, you just gonna drill down to the nuts and bolts this far? I think we already know who the starter is. There's no way you can convince me that you're still debating against Braxton and Theo Benedict. There's no way you can convince me that you're still debating against Braxton and Ozzie or anybody else. And Kara Amagaji. What? No, not yet, Q. We'll talk about him in a second. And Kara Amagaji, get him out of here. He's not involved in this decision process whatsoever. So can we cut the crap?
I mean, on the depth chart right now, they got Braxton number 1 and Ozzie number 2. So, yeah, of course that could change. But again, to me, him answering the question like that is always what coaches do, in my opinion, when there's that ambiguity. Like, they get a little, we'll see, we don't know until the very last second. It's like, you do, but okay. Like, that's just what you got to say to me. Like, I don't take any stock in that either way. But maybe he will fall on us. I mean, I don't know. We haven't seen him coach yet, so it's a little bit of that unpredictability. But if I had money and I was a betting person, I would bet on Braxton starting week.
Last thing for preseason, Tiff, you brought it up for Ben Johnson. It's his first crack at it with the Chicago Bears and his first crack as a head coach. Did you all have any, thoughts about how he looked out there as a head coach, as a play caller, or how was your overall opinion about how he's conducted or led the team this offseason?
Well, at this point, go ahead, Tiff.
No, I was just calling him my left-handed brother. I'll let Q jump in, but I think for me, he's overall looked pretty confident. He's looked pretty on top of everything that was going on. He certainly is a breath of fresh air compared to Eberflus, who always had that same dumb look on his face, and you just never knew what he was going to blow in what game. You was just waiting for him to not call a timeout when he should, or, you were just waiting for it. With Ben, even though this is his first time, he seems to be very into the minutia, but yet still able to keep track of everything that's going on. I haven't seen anything glaring that made me nervous or anything like that. So I think, he's going to have his flubs. He's going to have his learning curve, but he seems to do his homework, be prepared. Like I said, he's very detail oriented, but he still seems to be able to keep track of the big picture.
After watching Matt Eberflus, Mark Trestman, and I liked Nagy at first, but the last 2 years was it got silly and ridiculous. I don't care how my coach looks on the sideline. Just don't flub it up on game time. So I thought Ben Johnson looked the part. He looked like a confident coach, but I'm past being shallow. I don't care about looks anymore. I just need production. I'm old. I'm ready to settle down with a nice long-term head coach. I don't care about looks no more.
I mean, shouldn't you still care about looks, depending on who you settle down with? I mean, is it all about no?
No. At this point, I'm about to have 10 cats. I'm about to, I'm about to, I'm about to add a cat for every year we don't have a long-term head coach, a 4,000-yard quarterback, or another Super Bowl win. I'm lonely. I don't care how it looks. Just get it done. I'm done being shallow. Lifelong Bears fan. Looks ain't even important. All the audience members, looks are not important. Get you somebody that don't irritate you. Or they don't irritate you much.
I'm sorry. No, I need to comment on that point. I'm sorry, because if you're unattractive, you probably finna irritate the person off top. You got a real short string if you unattractive, so do not take Q advice. Because guess what? If somebody fan as hell, you gonna give them a little bit more rope. You gonna let them get on your nerves a little bit more. But let them be an ugly duckling and they say one word you don't like. Nah, don't take Q advice. He about to have you out here. Please, don't listen to Q. Please.
Man, you can't help being unattractive. The only thing you can do is make sure you smell good and dress good. But if you unattractive, you're gonna sound attractive, right? I mean,
I'm not saying they can't. I'm talking about for their advice. He talking about get somebody that's unattractive to you. What kind of advice is that?
I somewhat disagree. I think being extremely unattractive, if you don't have any natural physical defects or something has happened to you, that is a choice. Being ugly is a choice nowadays. Come on, y'all. There's too much makeup, wigs, hairstyles, BBLs, cosmetic surgery. There's too much.
Why is this all women stuff?
I said hairstyle.
Why is these all women?
Beard. You don't know what's under this beard. I don't even know what's under this beard. All right, beards hide stuff too. I'm not just saying for y'all women. I'm just saying maybe 10, 12 years ago, I realized I was a little bit facially challenged and I put a beard on. My point being is there's something you could do about it. Don't do that, Pay. Don't just make these ugly people feel hopeless and they just go into the world and be ugly. You excusing ugliness. No. That's not cool. They need to work. If we can work, they can work. They just can't wake up and just be ugly and come out the house scaring people. No. They can do something about it. They got to at least try. At least show me that you're making an attempt.
Are we still talking about football or are we talking about something else now?
Yeah. It's all related to football. It's all related to football. It all ties in.
So I'm confused. Is Ben ugly or is he nice looking? I don't know. What's happening?
But he looks like a clean cut gentleman to me. Tip, I'll let you take that one. I think this is more your expertise in your division. Is Ben Johnson an attractive looking man? would he get a date with you? If he was in your DMs, what are you going to say? Ben Johnson pops into your DMs right now, Tiff. What you saying?
Well, I think that man is married, I believe. So that would be absolute no, period. Number two, he's not the hue that is my concern. So, I don't really have an opinion, but he's not ugly. He's not, blah. So I think he's usable for most people. I guess. I don't know. He's not my cup of tea though.
I'm going to ask again. Are we talking about football or are we talking about something else? I'm lost. You all lost me.
You asking something else because he said I was the only one that can answer. So
you asked how he looked. See, this is the thing. This is the thing. You lay the bait. You lay the bait for us, and then we take it. You can't be mad at us.
Are we talking about football here, guys? Yeah, you know what we're talking.
I'm just making sure because I got lost. I got lost about 6 minutes back there. Man, I got to MapQuest my way back to the front.
Listen, Tiff is on a roll.
Find yourself. First
of all, Tiff is on a roll. She's done a Matt Eberflus impression and she's done a Pay impression. And I want you to know the subtleties in her acting. I appreciate it because I noticed the difference between each character.
I missed the Pay one. Oh, all right. Let's work on that character too.
He just did it. Do it. Oh, it's got to be organic. It's got to be organic. So I can't ask you to do it. It's got to be organic.
It's got to be natural. It's got to just come as it goes, where it don't work. I'm sorry.
We're gonna work on this limited fake Eberflus and limited fake Pay. We're gonna work on those.
All right. Rewind it back. You'll hear it when you rewind it back. Clip it up.
I will. All right. So, drafting Ozzie, who's a right tackle. As far as drafting Kyron Amagachi, who is I don't even know what type tackle he is. But and as far as the whole thing with the tackles, do you think we are better off now from a tackle perspective than we were last year? Or is this more, or are we still vulnerable?
Yes. We're still both things can be true. We're still vulnerable, but we're better off than last year. Kyron Amagachi coming in off of injury and no training camp, that was scary. That was frightening what he was doing out there at left tackle. I think we got enough depth where we won't see Kyron Amagachi at left tackle this year. I hope we won't see him at left tackle this year. I pray we don't see Kyron at left tackle this year. So I think we are in better position because I think he's on the right side now, and I think there has to be three men that just collapse from injury until we see Kyron out there at left tackle. So I say yes to both.
I agree. When Q was talking, I was just having nightmares about him getting absolutely clobbered last year. Really, Yale did not deserve that because that was their one chance to really have somebody in the league, and bro did not put them on his back in any way, shape, or form. But then
nobody got drafted from Yale this year.
I'm like, oh well, they did what they did now, so oh well, who cares about Yale? But yeah, I mean, we won't get into all that. We won't get it. We've done enough segues. I'm talking about their settlements and all that. Yeah, I said that.
Dick Duran was actually from Yale.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace, Dick Duran. Gary Fensick was from Yale as well. Former Bear. 46 defense.
One of the best safeties in Bears history. All right, so yesterday was cut day. The Bears didn't have a lot of bubble guys that had caught on this season. I think that most of the guys that ended up getting cut were more. I don't want to say they weren't shockers, but I don't think they was like huge surprises. Was there a name that got cut that shocked you all, Tiff?
There weren't any that shocked me. I was a little sad for Wheeler. Maybe Scott is not really shocking, but I mean, those were the only two where it was like, oh, okay. Like Wheeler, obviously, just because of his story. So those were the only two. Like I feel the same, that we didn't have a bunch of people that were really close to the bubble or anybody that was super surprising. So for Wheeler, it was just the fact that, he had a feel good story, and you would hope his career would have been able to continue with us. But that's how it goes.
There are two cuts I want to highlight. They're not surprises, but Poe's got to do better with these third-round picks. I mean, his third-round picks since he got here, Velus Jones, gone, no impact at all. Zach Pickens, cut yesterday, no impact at all. Kyron Amagachi probably should have been cut if it wasn't for his draft status as a third-round pick last year. No impact at all. You can't. I don't want to be the negative Nancy, but you can't fail this bad in the third round. The third round is an important round in the NFL. Like, when you take a guy in the third round, he should either be a starter or a very high-level backup, to say the least. I mean, these guys can't even get on the field. I mean, Velus can't even. Well, when they do get on the field, they're very noticeable.
Not in a good way.
When Velus was on the field, he was fumbling or dropping. Yeah. Kyron was very noticeable for getting absolutely destroyed against the Vikings. And Zach Pickens was notable. Zach Pickens, and when you're an interior defensive lineman, you shouldn't be noticeable, but he was pretty noticeable for getting pancaked, getting blown up at the point of attack. So that's my take on yesterday's cuts. I saw another third-round pick of Poe's cut. And then you saw Tyler Scott cut a fourth-round pick. You don't want to see guys. I mean, fourth round is a little bit more palatable, but the guys in the first three rounds, those should be the core of your team. Even though third rounds don't have the same star power that the first and second rounder goes, you look around the league, there's a lot of guys in the third round that are making impacts on their team. At the very least, solid starters.
Here's my thing. Let's say I wasn't shocked by anybody to let go. And the Ian Wheeler thing, I thought, he does have a cool story. Shout out to Hard Knocks for illuminating that story last off season. But him getting cut is a byproduct of Ryan Poles being too soft on guys that he has a relationship with, being too willing to lean into the nice story. Yes, I get it. Maybe Ryan Poles wants to be the anti bad guy, the anti executive, where he's cold and heartless. Okay, great, Ryan Poles, but this is a business. You can't keep everybody around. Last year, we said it ad nauseum that Ryan Poles has this affinity for guys he's built relationships with, and he finds ways to keep them on. More of that Chicago politics, giving people no-show jobs. Ryan Bates should have made the squad, and a whole bunch of other ones, right? So what I'm saying is that when you look at the final 53 and you see that running back room has only got 3 guys, that is directly because last year, remember, we broke camp with 7 running backs. You're not doing that nonsense again this year. You see guys like Tyler Scott. The second he muffed that punt, and I think it was the second preseason game, his bags was already packed. Shout out to Velus. You got 3 tight ends in that room. Remember what I think it was last year or the year before last? How many tight ends did the Bears have? Like 6? Yeah,
there's always been a love with tight ends. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
from Ryan Pace
like
to Ryan
4 guys.
Poles, we are going to draft a tight end every single year. I don't know what it is. And
he's going to sign 2 or 3 of them every single year.
Mercedes coming back.
Mercedes better not come back. He only
He's a
played
old
3 snaps
vet.
a game, and 2 of them were false starts.
But he was the team glue. He was the
Yeah,
motivator.
Matt Eberflus, he got me with that. He got me with that because talked about how Mercedes Lewis is such a strong influence on the locker room, and I was like, yeah, the veterans. And then Mercedes got out there and didn't know when the ball was going to be snapped, and I mean, he didn't just do it once. He
Not
did it
blocking to save his life. He said, "I'm 40, bro. I'm not about to be out here blocking. Is you crazy?"
well, he wasn't out there catching either, though. So what was he out there for?
I mean, facts. Vibes. He was out there for good vibes.
The vibes were anything but good. Your point about the running back pay, yeah, a lot of the silliness has been cut. Travis Homer is technically on IR, so he could be brought back at some point of the season. Yeah, Ian Wheeler was a feel-good story. I know a lot of people want him to make the team. There was probably no reason for him to make the team because you're not going for running backs deep. And if Ian Wheeler isn't a core special team member or returning kicks, no reason for him. He could still make the practice squad though, for those who love Ian. And I like Ian too. We saw him on Hard Knocks. And to your point, Poles does seem to be a nice guy. Remember when Adrian Colbert got cut from Hard Knocks? 30-year-old safety who was an NFL journeyman. And really, when he got to the Bears, that should have been the end of his journey. I was surprised the team brought him to camp, but we were the team to bring him to camp. And Poles was all emotional about cutting him and brought him back. And he did some things last year that weren't good when Brisker went down, but bygones be bygones. Bear down, bear claw up.
Bear claw up, Tiff.
With your claws up,
No.
Tiff. Get them claws.
No.
You with gang. First of
No.
all, this is like our gang sign. This is our sign, the bear claws. So put
It
your
is
claws
not.
up. This is our
No.
sign. When you in
Listen,
these
this is
NFC,
still America. I still have freedom. I said no.
when you in these NFC North streets and a lion or pack will roll up on you and ask you what you is, you ain't even gotta say nothing. You just throw your claw. They know what you is, and they gonna run because they know what comes behind them claws. We fly.
GBK, FGB.
No, thank you.
GBK.
Bears are keeping 10 offensive linemen on the 53. Too many or not enough?
I gotta see what those boys play like. I don't, probably not enough, to be honest. But I gotta see what they look like in a real game.
I mean, obviously, if you take last season into account where we had all those injuries across the line, both lines, and again, last offseason also when they had an over importance on the fancy positions, the skill positions, running back, wide receiver, to be highlighted. Now we see a reverse this offseason. You got 10 bodies in the offensive linemen. You got another 10 on defensive linemen. I think that makes me feel good. It makes me feel good as far as like we are finally getting our head out of our asses. We are finally getting the stink off of us and we're starting to do things like a competent football team does.
Of those 10 offensive linemen we have, how do you feel about Bates and Amagachi? Because to me, it feels like these are guys that are being kept in hopes of proving and validating Poe's decision to get those guys. He chased Bates for 2 years and ended up trading a 5th-round pick for him when it was kind of, where was the market for Ryan Bates that you needed to trade for him, that you needed to trade draft capital for him? You try to sign him. The Buffalo matched the offer sheet 3 years ago. You fiend over him that whole year. He got to Buffalo camp, could not win the guard position. The next year, they send him to you like, here you go, bro. Here go your girl back. I've had her. I had my fun with her. She not in my long-term future. And give me a little bread for her. And Ryan Poles was a simp sitting there with his chair at the side of the hotel bed like a cuck, and went and took Ryan Bates back anyways. I know I'm getting off. You're about to ask me, are we talking football or something
Where
else?
are we going
I'm
with
sorry.
this? What
I'm
are we
excited for
talking
football season.
about?
Wait a minute. I'm just excited for football season, y'all. All right? It's just give me some time, all right? I'm excited for football season. My point is, do we really need Bates or Amagachi, or is this polls trying to validate taking these guys? Kyron Amagachi was projected as a third-round pick. And in this camp, you can't tell me, looking at him in camp and preseason, that he was one of the 10 best guys they had in camp or necessary to make the team. It seemed like McFadden or Kramer probably should have got his spot. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you don't want McFadden and Kramer playing either. But I'm just saying, I just felt like, what did Kyron Amagachi do in this camp to make this team? Be hurt and not play well enough to get a legit shot at left tackle? What did he do?
I agree with you about Kyron. I don't see how he's still on the squad. I think this will probably be his last hurrah. But Ryan Bates, the knock on Bates was that he just couldn't be healthy, right? He's been healthy all camp, and he hasn't missed a practice. He hasn't missed, from reports, he hasn't missed a snap while he was on the practice field. He's played, I think, every interior position. I think he may have even lined up as a tackle with the second team as well. So he's pretty invaluable in that sense. Yeah. So I mean, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that from that perspective. If he can stay healthy, he can be he can be a pretty useful utility piece. And from the overall question about having 10 guys in that offensive line room, our best offensive player is in that room.
Best offensive player?
Joe Tooney.
Oh.
Yeah. Most decorated player, All-Pro. Was he second team All-Pro last year? I know he made the Pro Bowl. Was he All-Pro last year as well? Yeah, he's definitely our best offensive player. Although I think Dahlman is right there too. But DJ Moore, I don't know. That's debatable. DJ Moore might eke out over Dahlman. I don't know.
DJ got a pro. He had great season stuff for last year. Okay. Be interested to see how that dynamic goes this year, though, because even in a couple of preseason games, he doesn't look as engaged as I've seen DJ in past years. Like, he ain't celebrate with Rome when he got his touchdown. I don't know. I'm gonna be interested to see how
Everybody's into DJ's body language. You know what? The way that goes
it's
away.
just not what you're used to. It's not what you used to. And I know him and Rome are cool. So, like, I know they're tight. So maybe he was just whatever. But I don't know. I am interested. I hope him and Caleb really get some kind of connection going.
I mean, that was my concern too. That was my concern too about DJ Moore and the body language. But I saw one of the beat reporters point something out, and we might have missed it because when things are going bad, we focus on the negative. But he was showing DJ Moore and that, when he went crazy against the Commanders 2 years ago, what do you have? 3 touchdowns and 200-some yards. They were showing him after he scored his third touchdown. He literally went to the opposite side, into the bench by himself. Somebody was saying maybe DJ's just kind of like that. So maybe it got highlighted more because of a frustrating year.
Hopefully. I don't. All his years have been frustrating, so I don't know if that's the case. Like, what year in his career has he had that wasn't frustrating? To be clear. Yeah, so from the Panthers to us, he has not had much not frustrating. And now he still did his thing every year except last year. He still had his production, but it's been frustrating.
And body language, not just from DJ Moore, Caleb Williams, and all the others, that has been a point of emphasis from the Ben Johnson training camp. So camp's over, like we said at the beginning of the show, camp's over, preseason's over. We're going to take everything that we've read, everything that we saw, and let's give it a grade.
I'm going to say B-.
Where was it before training camp started?
I mean, it was probably a C, which is average, and that's just because, we hadn't really seen anything materialize. Like we got the coach we wanted. Okay, excited about that. We know Caleb's coming into his second year, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to say C as a baseline because there was really nothing concrete, to base it on. I'm going to say it went up to a B- because, again, we have had those glimmers of hope, but we have had those realizations that this offense is complicated and they are having their snafus and Caleb is having his moments and these things, everything is not coming through, like butter instantly from the beginning, which is fine. So that's why to me it's been a B- because I think, again, everything's run fairly smoothly. There have been no major blow-ups, no major problems, but we have had those little issues that have kind of continued to linger. Like they were there. And then, like Ben Johnson said, I thought we had gotten over that, but nope, we're right back there. So it's kind of that ebb and flow that the preseason has been. But hopefully, like he said, we've gotten it all out of our system now. So now that the real season is coming around, we're ready to hit the ground running.
My grade on it right now, I'm going to give it a solid B. Prior to training camp, I probably had it at a B+, maybe even burgeoning on a low A. But I think there has been some concerns heading into week 1. So I'm going to take a step back and just give it a solid B. I do like some of the culpability that's being given to the players. Hey, you gotta man up. You gotta lock in. You gotta do what you gotta do to get to the next level in this league. I do like that's being delivered from the coaches, and we are having some type of actual, like I say, culpability. Whereas they weren't being coached at all, and that's not coming from me, coming from the players directly. They said they were not getting coached in the previous regime under Eberflus. I do like that. I do think that will manifest into a better season in the standings. More wins, less losses, less confounding losses from that perspective. But yeah, going into week 1, we got about 2 weeks until September 8th. Do you think are you more confident going into that game or less confident? Prior to training camp starting, are you more confident going into week 1, or are you same confidence or less confidence?
I'm gonna say more confident just because I'm believing that they actually have worked a lot of the bugs out and worked a lot of the things out, and the things that they haven't, that they have those checklists, and they will spend these next 2 weeks figuring it out. The thing that's kind of iffy to me is, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, our very first game is Monday Night Football. So, you got that added pressure. You got a division rival who has been good, all these different factors. We don't get to ease our way in with a nice Sunday afternoon game for Ben and, Caleb coming back with this new offense and things. It's like right in front of the spotlight, right? So that is a little bit, nerve-wracking for lack of a better term. But hey, sink or swim. This is a grown man's game, so.
I got a B. Even though they're still working out kinks with the offense, we expected that. This complicated offense, first year in the system. So I expected the kinks. The defenses look good, and besides the game number 3, they did get kind of carved up. But Pat Mahomes probably gonna carve a lot of people up if that's any type of solace. Um, and the defense looked really good in the joint practices against Josh Allen and the joint practices against Tua. So I give it a B. Am I any more or less, excited or optimistic about week 1? I'm the same because I felt good about this regime coming into camp. I still feel good. So still the same. It's still positive right now until they show me a reason not to be positive.
So Q, you think they've gotten all the kinks out then?
I don't know if they got all the kinks out, but I think we're seeing progress, and that's all I can ask for. As long as we're making progress every week, Caleb is learning from the mistakes, because last year we weren't learning from mistakes. Same dumb thing week after week. All I ask is that, okay, you're a young quarterback. You got some youth on offense. Let's not do the same stupid thing. Let's keep growing. Let's not take the same dumb sacks. Caleb did take a sack against the Chiefs, held him to the ball a little too long. I'm going to give him grace with that one. But let's not be, stubborn. Let's not sit in the pocket for 5 seconds. If you don't see it, bro, run or throw it away. You're a good athlete. Well, get up the field. Get in those gaps. Get what you can. 5-6 yards and not losing a down is much better than losing 12 and facing a 3rd and long. So I just want to see the same progress, the little things, not making the same mistakes. So far, so good right now.
So you gave them a B. So you are more or less excited after preseason for game 1, or you said you the same?
I'd say a little bit more, about the same, but a little bit more.
We're all in agreement. Bears start the season 1-0.
Period.
Definitely. BearClaws up.
No BearClaws. BearClaws are banned.
Thanks for listening to this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Don't matter if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all the guys from Chicago, we say 3 things. Bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.